So it's a great joy to introduce a great pioneer of Maharishi Ayurveda in the US and the West, Candace Badgett, PhD. She's the founder and vice president of the Raj Ayurveda Health Center and Spa in Fairfield and Iowa, USA. She's the president of the Global Health Foundation for Women and an international trustee of the Global Women's Organization for Total Knowledge. Please welcome Candace Badgett.
So in 1991, under the guidance of Maharishi, my husband Rogers Badgett and myself built and took on the administration of the Raj, America's premier Maharishi Ayurveda health facility in Fairfield, Iowa. As providers of authentic Ayurveda healthcare services for 22 years, we've had the opportunity to observe firsthand the introduction of Ayurveda to the Western world. It's been an interesting process to watch as the medical establishment in the US moved from a dismissive attitude to an interest and a willingness to investigate the validity of alternative medicine modalities. But that interest comes with its own challenges. Having watched Ayurveda being integrated into spa and wellness facilities, and having attempted to collaborate with medical institutions such as Mayo Clinic, what's become clear is that we have to be very alert to ensure that Ayurveda is not compromised by the Western tendencies toward commercialization, fragmentation, and by the reductionist and materialistic principles at the heart of modern medicine's entrenched paradigm. Modern medicine, which is based on a paradigm at odds with Ayurvedic paradigm, is imposing medical and research standards that could bind Ayurveda within the confines of a pharmaceutical approach to healthcare. In addition, what we see in the commercial sector is that short-term market trends promote a fragmentation in which authenticity is sacrificed in the interest of profit. What sells, whether an herbal tea or a Shirodhara, is plucked out and the holistic framework of Ayurveda is left behind. The holistic framework of Ayurveda is found in the integral unity that Maharishi has restored to Veda and the Vedic literature. Maharishi's insight into an integral unity, not only within the body of Ayurvedic knowledge, but within the entire body of Vedic science, is the foundational perspective of Maharishi Ayurveda. Maharishi reestablished Ayurveda's connection to Veda, to the field of pure consciousness. By means of Maharishi's Transcendental Meditation program, the direct experience of the field of pure consciousness becomes the practical foundation for the efficacy of all of Ayurveda's health modalities. In fact, the direct experience of pure consciousness, Atma, the self, is the only way that the real source of all imbalances can be addressed. We can go to bed by 10 o'clock for our entire lives, but if we never open our awareness to the field of pure consciousness, these other Ayurvedic recommendations will not serve us in correcting the most fundamental level of imbalance, which is the mistake of the intellect. Pragya Parad, the intellect's mistake in identifying with the mortal, changing values of life at the expense of the immortal, eternal aspect of the self. And as we've heard many times in this conference, Charak's definition of health is to be established in our own infinite, eternal nature. And in order to know that aspect of ourselves, we must experience that aspect of ourselves. and experience it often enough and regularly enough that our awareness eventually becomes established in that eternal reality that we are. And because this field of Atma is beyond any trace of material expression, we come to find that in the final analysis, Ayurveda, perfect health, is purely and absolutely spiritual. As Maharishi revealed to the world, it is in the simple technique of transcending the thinking process that Ayurveda may fulfill its stated goal, which is nothing less than full enlightenment, Brahmichetana. But today, Ayurveda in the US seems to be faced with the pressure to choose between the spiritual and the scientific, and seems to be moving in the direction of scientific at the expense of spiritual. There's currently a pressure for Ayurveda health centers, clinics, and spas to do more research and to be more evidence-based. And while in principle we certainly should be evidence-based and we should question the efficacy of our treatments with scientific inquiry, we also need to recognize the limitations of science. Modern medicine research standards are often based on the study of interventions that work across broad populations of people. But it doesn't really tell us much about what works for the individual. Ayurveda's individualized approach to prevention and cure needs its own standards of research, just as Dr. Bhatt and other speakers proposed yesterday, and as Dr. Kessler is pursuing. With Ayurvedic research, we must acknowledge the paradigm on which Ayurveda is based, one that advocates for the inner healing intelligence of the body and places no sense of limitation on what that healing intelligence is capable of doing. With modern medicine research protocols, extremes of possibility are considered statistical outliers, and so are removed from most scientific research. Ayurveda health clinics offer modern medicine research looks at what is common. Ayurvedic health centers and clinics offer what is possible. And this we have witnessed at the Raj and Badem's and our other Maharishi Ayurveda clinics in thousands of anecdotal stories of healing and transformation. Ayurveda cannot be held to the confines of modern medicine's limited paradigm. And it's for this reason that the current trend toward integrative medicine within the environment of allopathic institutions may hold more danger for compromise than it holds promise for global acknowledgement of Ayurveda. Unlike in Switzerland, complementary and alternative medicine departments in allopathic hospitals and clinics in the US often see the integration of Ayurveda simply tacking on to their allopathic framework one or two Ayurvedic modalities. In the nourishing atmosphere of our own Ayurvedic health centers, we have the freedom to use integrative medicine in the best sense of the concept. And that's in the context of the Ayurvedic paradigm that acknowledges intelligence as primary and matter as secondary. In essence, this is a spiritual paradigm. And based on this fundamental premise, authentic Ayurveda can be offered in its holistic context, and true healing can take place on a spiritual foundation. Of course, Ayurvedic clinics and health centers should embrace modern science when relevant and useful, but on our own terms. In fact, when on our own terms, integrative medicine that is based on the Ayurvedic paradigm could provide a very good solution to many of the challenges that authentic Ayurveda faces today. Another challenge posed by the Western scientific approach to Ayurveda is its predominant focus on the use of research and Ayurveda herbal formulas. And while the use of Ayurveda herbs does merit and is certainly an important aspect of Ayurvedic treatments, the predominant focus on this one aspect of Ayurveda puts Ayurveda at the mercy of the herbal products industry and pharmaceutical companies, and at risk for being severed from its deepest roots. This focus on herbal formulations is the inevitable way in which modern medicine will integrate Ayurveda, because it dovetails with its pharmaceutical approach to health, the magic bullet approach, and it supports the pharmaceutical companies' intentions to patent the active ingredients found in these herbal formulations. We have to ask ourselves, why spend so much time and money researching the herbal cure for lifestyle diseases when, for example, modifying our diet and taking a walk twice a day could not only be equally as effective, but could have prevented the disease in the first place? In our eagerness to prove ourselves to the modern medicine community, let's not ignore the important role of authentic Ayurveda health centers in addressing the most significant health concern of today, lifestyle diseases. In their 2013 report, the World Health Organization stated, "This lifestyle disease epidemic causes a much greater public health threat than any other epidemic known to man." It's for this reason that Ayurveda's wealth of knowledge in the area of prevention through proper lifestyle choices is the best answer to the need of our time, and why our Ayurvedic health centers can play an important role in addressing this most pressing global health issue. It's through our Ayurveda health centers that holistic Ayurveda can be safeguarded, with a focus on the prevention of disease, rejuvenation, holistic treatment of chronic disorders, not only with herbal remedies, which of course are an important part of holistic treatment, but first and foremost with meditation that allows the mind to directly experience pure consciousness. This, along with daily and seasonal routine, proper diet, and regular purification and rejuvenation through panchakarma. And in addition to all of this, Ayurveda health centers provide a comprehensive and individualized understanding of how to live life in accord with the laws of nature. Knowledge of Veda is knowledge of the laws of nature. If we use all the modalities of Ayurveda that Maharshi revived, modalities that correspond to all 40 aspects of Veda and the Vedic literature, then our Ayurvedic health centers are poised to offer something that the world greatly needs and yet cannot get anywhere else. A nourishing space for people to self-heal, to experience their own inner silence, to activate their inner healing intelligence, a place where spiritual and scientific meet on the ground of pure knowledge, on the ground of the direct experience of our own unbounded self. As Maharishi described, this is the glory of the nature of the self. Having come back home, the traveler finds peace. The intensity of happiness is beyond the superlative. The bliss of this state eliminates the possibilities of any sorrow, great or small. Into the bright light of the sun, no darkness can penetrate, no sorrow can enter bliss consciousness, nor can bliss consciousness know any gain greater than itself. This state of self-sufficiency leaves one steadfast in oneself, fulfilled in eternal contentment. Only this reality can truly be called perfect health. All gratitude to Maharishi for giving us the opportunity to offer this kind of experience to those who find themselves at our door. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you very much.